There's a new most explosive offense taking over Madden 26 right now, and if you don't master it, it could be the reason you're still getting sacked and losing games here in Madden 26. Luckily for you, in this video, I'm breaking down the complete guide to my 5-play Buccaneers Offensive Ebook that will have you scoring points every single drive. If that sounds good to you, make sure you watch until the end and don't skip out on any of the plays. Let's jump right into it. The first thing any explosive offense needs is a one-play touchdown. Let me show you the best one right now from the Buccaneers Playbook. Alright, so this play is called Mesh Whips here from the Trio Y Flex formation, and obviously it's going to be, like a lot of plays, fantastic against cover 3. Alright, the setup is to put Y or the slot receiver here on the in route. You're going to custom stem him up twice with the D-pad, alright? Then you're going to put your B receiver on a streak just like this. Now, if you want to block your running back, you could do that. I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing that. It kind of would make the blitz a little bit worse, but it really, the one-play touchdown worse, but really it just comes down to having time to throw in the pocket. We're going to take the snap right here just so I can show you, and what you're just going to notice is Godwin's going to be running right over the top for a huge gain. Now, obviously, if you have the ball closer to the end zone, maybe inside the 50-yard line, right, you would actually be able to score, but it's like this is still going to be a huge gain over the top. Boom, you're able to see why does this work? Well, what you're going to see is we have a streak, obviously, to run off the inside third, and then we just have an S-post running underneath him. But this is the key. What opens up all of this room over here is that this outside third gets held down. You just see how this wheel route is able to move him all the way out towards the sideline and open up this huge gain right here. He also hesitates a little bit at first when he's trying to defend this whip route instead of getting all the way back there. And so really that's what makes this super, super dangerous. So obviously we have another cover 3 defense right here. And so we set it up the same way, boom, boom, custom stem it up twice, and now we're ready to go. So we take the snap, but this time we see how the seam is open, right? And if they run like a overload blitz where the safety has to come down to defend the flat, that's really when that seam, area would be wide open for you and you would be looking to hit it. But luckily for us, right, even if they run a cover 2 defense like this, it's really not going to matter. Same setup, put him on an in route, stem it up twice, take the snap, and now what you're just going to notice is that you are going to have that little S-post running over the top if you have time to throw. Now, clearly, you don't always have time to throw. I would recommend you call this against zone coverage, cover 2, cover 3. But even if they show you a man coverage, look like right here, right, you're still going to have options. You're just going to have to hit them really quickly right there. We see how those guys bump into each other, and that just gives us Bucky Irving wide open down the field. So really against every coverage, you're going to have answers, but obviously it's going to be the best against cover 3 just because you're going to be able to move a lot of these zones outside. So we go with it one last time here. Stem Y up twice, put B on a shriek, and we are going to snap the ball just like this. Give us time. We don't have time, so I guess we're going to have to go with it again. But we go with it again right here, and what we're just going to notice is we step all the way up in the pocket, and that time, that could be a touchdown. Boom, and yes, we're able to score that time because I just waited a little bit longer, waited for the S-post to run over the top, and the wheel route did an even better job when I stepped up of actually moving this outside third zone outside, and then it just gives me even more room to just throw this, terrible pursuit angles, and we're able to score. So this play, Mesh Whips, really able to beat every defense, but a great one-play touchdown against cover 3. Alright, having a great one-play touchdown is fantastic, but the next part of an explosive offense is a little bit of trickery. When the defense expects one thing, you want to have a trick play up your sleeve. Let me show you the best one right now from the Buccaneers playbook. Alright, so that play here is going to be motion double pass from Bunch Strong Nasty, and this is one that isn't exactly like under the radar. Like some people know about this play, but yet it's still hard to stop when you snap the ball at the right time and hit the reads on time. Alright, so really what I mean by that is really they can't necessarily know the play's coming unless like they know the motion, right? And so like right here they play pretty good defense, and so we end up taking off. So here's the thing, you don't have a quarterback out there, so you're not throwing this pass unless it is wide open. Against man covers, they actually tend to guard it, but you're able to see how like right there when they're in zone coverage, that safety gets pulled down a lot of the time. Really the only way for them to defend it still works against man at times, but it's like the most consistent way for them to be able to defend this actually is by pass committing their defense. And if they don't know that, they don't recognize this motion, they don't see it coming, right, they're just kind of going to be out of luck right here. So we go with it again, zone coverage. We get dumbed out. Olave, can he hit that pass over the top? Or not Olave, what's his name? Ebook hit that pass over the top. Yes, he does for a touchdown. So if they get, like you've been seeing here, if they give you that fade over the top, it's uncontested. That's the only time I'm going to throw it. If they give you that, you throw it. But if not, you just throw your backside dig. If that's not wide open, like right there, you don't throw it because you don't have a quarterback on the field. Also understand, though, that the backside dig, honestly, still is a good option. Like you're able to see right here where we throw it, Mike Evans catches it, and so now we're able to turn it into a big game down the field. So it's like, normally, I mean, you're going to have a receiver out there. I wouldn't recommend you subbing your backup quarterback. That kind of gives away that this trick play is coming. But it's like right here, like that would be, I think he might get it there. Oh, he was so close. I did say if it's not wide open, don't throw it. He did look like he beat him, by a step, which he did. But that's why, again, you can't really throw that if it's not wide open because you don't have a quarterback out there. But right there, we hit Mike Evans on that backside dig route. So normally your receiver can hit a backside dig, right? But if it's, not wide open, you can't really throw that pass over the top, to Godwin for a score. But this time they give it to you. You try to hit it. Sometimes he'll still sail it like you probably saw earlier in this segment. But for the most part, he does a great job of hitting the throw when it's wide open. So really, that's the great trick play. Luckily for us, we're able to build an entire scheme off of this trick play and play off of it, and that's something that you're going to see when you purchase the ebook. Alright, so if you found those first two plays helpful here from the Buccaneers playbook, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down Madden 26 tips and tricks, give you guys free ebooks every single day. You don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my full Buccaneers Offensive ebook with write-ups, videos, screenshots, everything you're going to need to dominate on offense, 39 pages, you can save it on your phone and always pull up all the plays during gameplay. Go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can grab it today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. It's the best and most explosive offense right now here in Madden 26, and I encourage you to check it out. But let's jump right back into the video. Because having one-play touchdowns, trick plays is fantastic, but when the game's on the line in the fourth quarter, you need a play that you practice and can count on. Let me show you the best one right now from this Buccaneers offense. Alright, so we're still going to be in a Bunch Strong Nasty, and like I said, we have an entire scheme to play off of this, little trick play from this formation. So it's not just that trick play from Bunch Strong Nasty. There's much more, but what we're going to do, we're going to put X right here on a shriek. We're going to RB on a shriek, and we're going to have Mike Evans on his post, but you're going to custom stem it all the way down like this to make it run better, alright? And so what we're going to see right here is we're going to take this snap, and we're just going to have our drag underneath. I would say you want to always go through a read progression. That's something we talk about a lot in this ebook here, is we need to go through a 1, 2, 3 read progression. The first read needs to be the drag, then we're looking to the post to X, and then we're looking to the trail route to our tight end. Always stepping up in the pocket to really make sure that we're able to find our guys open down the field, and we have the best opportunity to hit them in stride without, having bad rack animations, without sailing passes over the top. So very paramount that you go through that read progression, right? But boom, we're going to take the snap again. This time we see the seam, all right? When they give you that seam, you hit it. And really the best way to identify it is looking at these flame icons, all right? If that linebacker blitzes, that seam could be open if that flat defender moves outside. So really, you're looking at the flame icons, and then you're just going to check, okay, do they blitz? Do those defenders blitz? And if that's the case, then we're throwing it. But we're going to stem Evans down, post, and then we're going to stem the post all the way down. Boom, it looks like this. And the reason why you're going to do that is this right here, because you can step up in the pocket. That time they did a good job of guarding it, but you can step up in the pocket, and especially against like cover 2 and cover 3 defenses, you can really hit that post. Now we're going to stem it back all the way down. It's pretty good against man coverage too. It's probably even better against man just because he's going to get a speed boost off the line, and then we're going to be able to throw that pass. If Mike Evans would catch the ball, I mean, my goodness, maybe I shouldn't stem it down because this dude can't catch. But we're going to take this snap again right here, step up in the pocket. We see they blitz. We hit Mike Evans on his stem down post. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, where he just gets to his spot a little bit sooner. And so that's going to help you out, especially when you're playing against man coverage. Now, if you're playing against like cover 2 or cover 3, right, you don't necessarily have to stem it down. You can normally just throw that pass inside. I mean, this dude has probably dropped like like 6 passes this video. I'm not kidding. I mean, I've never seen anything like this, right? But if they run like cover 3, this is really when the post route is going to be the most dangerous, because now you're just going to throw it middle of the field, no chance of him to drop that ball. And so really with this play, you're trying to never take a sack. Like I mentioned earlier, it's like you're going to go through your 1, 2, 3 read progression as always, and so you're normally just going to be able to find someone open on that read progression, whether it's your first read, your second read, or your third read. But regardless, step up in the pocket, you're going to be able to go to this play in every moment of every single game. Alright, before I jump into those final 2 plays that you're absolutely not going to miss here in Madden 26 from this Buccaneers offense, I wanted to remind you to go down below, hit that subscribe button. I'm the only one right now breaking down Madden 26 tips and tricks for you guys every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But let's jump into those final 2 plays. Which that next one is going to be 2 toxic RPOs that are going to help you punch the ball into the end zone when you're in the red zone. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so our first one here is going to be RPO read Y flat here from Y off trips. And the reason what makes this so dangerous is going to be that tight end flat route right off the rip. Typically, they're going to struggle mightily to defend this. And so if that's the case, then you just throw it out there. We understand that this is the most toxic and most frustrating RPO in the game to deal with, because they typically just do a really poor job with RPO defense of actually recognizing this play. You're able to see how these guys are typically crashing down, and when it's a one-on-one situation, you always want to hold the right stick up in order to try to fall forward. Like right here, that's just going to be a walk-in, because those guys are looking into the backfield to try to defend the run. And so again, when that's the case, you're just trying to look out there. Also, you could throw this backside curl route. Boom, like you're able to see how like you can throw that, and if he catches, I mean, the Buccaneers cannot catch today, but like if he can catch that ball, that's an option. But the first read, like we always talk about the 1, 2, 3 read progression, right? The first read is trying to get that ball out there to the tight end in the flat. Then you're probably just going to be looking for, you know, your running back here to hand the ball off. Can you keep it with your quarterback with this? Yes, you can. So you can read the, now clearly I would have thrown it out there that time, but it's like you can, if you read the read key defender, you can also, you know, keep the ball with your quarterback. So right here, I'm just going to end up throwing the flat because we set up great blocks, we're able to score. So you have 4 options. You can throw to the flat, you can hand the ball off, you can keep it with your quarterback, or you can throw this backside curl, which your eyes have to move really quickly with this. Obviously, it's an RPO, like right here. Bradley Chubb, no chance to actually go out there and guard that, and so we just end up throwing it out there to the flat for an easy conversion. So that's really what it is. Boom, you're able to see how right there those guys bump, and that's also something that's going to happen pretty often, you know, for you when you're on offense, is those guys are going to bump. But RPO read Y flat, one of the toughest plays here in the game to stop, one that you need to be calling quick snapping as fast as possible in the red zone to give the defense no chance to react. But let me show you another one here from this Buccaneers offense, and that's going to be RPO read bubble from gun bunch strong nasty. Now this one is a little bit different. You only have, I think, 2 options here with this play, either hand the ball off or throw it out there to your receiver. I would say that this one is like a second, it's secondary to the first one I just showed you. It's not quite as good because typically the blocks can be a little bit worse, but still very effective, and it's why it's definitely going to still be part of the ebook, because it's another quick snap RPO. You're able to see how right there sometimes you like your blocks, they just like are weird, so you have to kind of just improvise. Like I just found room right there, found an opening, you can still hand the ball off. That time I walk in untouched, so it's like it's an inside zone, or you just throw the RPO out there. I would say still the first read is probably just going to be the pass, right? Like this right here is beautiful, right? I mean, if they could block, but that's also why you need to hold right stick up when you're trying to fall into the end zone, because that's gonna, like what happened right here where I extend the ball. This should have been an easy walk-in touchdown. My receivers just don't block anyone, so it's a one-on-one, but because I extend the ball by holding right stick up, you see he has no chance to make that tackle and grab me. So it's really just about reading it. You're able to see right here how, I mean, it's gonna be hard honestly with this RPO. That's the difference with this one. It's gonna be hard for them to stop both of them at the same time. They might just have to commit to one. Like clearly right here, they're just committing all the way to stopping the RPO, and so you just have to make the determination to, you know, run into the end zone, you know, with your running back here. Again, this is another one where they commit. I think I've scored almost every time with this RPO, simply because it's like it's one or the other. It's a very simple read. If they commit to stopping the pass, you can typically just hand the ball off for an easy score. Like, I mean, right here, I jinxed myself on that last one, where that time they did a good job of stopping both. But you can just see it, how it's like, I mean, they're just going to have no chance. Extend that ball over the goal line, run that guy over, and we're able to score. So even with this one, it's either you're going to read the RPO pass side. If they, give it up, you throw it. If not, you just take it with your running back, and you're going to be able to score easy touchdowns in the red zone. But the red zone is super, super important. I just showed you 2 great RPOs, but I actually have 2 more run plays that are going to change the way you play offense in the red zone, because if you can't score in the red zone, you're going to lose games simply off kicking too many field goals. That's why there's such an emphasis on it. Let me show you the best run plays to use from this Buccaneers offense. Alright, so like I said, there's such a huge emphasis on scoring touchdowns in the red zone, and it's why this ebook has so many red zone plays, because that's the entire game. Obviously, we're going to have bombs, we're going to have great passing plays, but we need to be able to run the ball, make the game easy for ourselves in the red zone. So we're going to start with quarterback zone. Here's the thing, there's a reason why this is 2 plays, because it's quarterback zone and it's inside zone, and you're just reading the look. Like right here, they have 5 defenders on the right side where we're trying to run with our quarterback. So we're going to audible to inside zone, and the look is wide open. So that's why it's 2. You're just pairing them off of each other. If they give you the look, like right here, they're giving me the look to the quarterback. So I'm just going to take it out to the edge. And unfortunately, I had the worst stick. I should have just cut it up. I tried to get all the way out to the edge. But it's like if they give you a great look, again, they give me a great look right here. And so the lane is going to be there. And that's why it's also important to try to extend the ball. Now, clearly, Baker Mayfield isn't exactly the best guy to do this with, but it really shouldn't matter. Like right here, they're stacking that right side, so we're clearly not going to go that way. We're just going to hand the ball off Bucky Irving, walk in untouched. So just like I showed you with the last RPO from Bunch Strong Nasty, it's either or. It's going to be hard for them to stop both, like take away both of these plays at the same time, because they really need numbers to the right side in order to stop the quarterback. But if they take numbers like on the right side, I mean, it's going to be hard for them to defend the interior. So a lot of the time, like, you should be able to just walk in with the quarterback or walk in with the running back, just depending on the look. Now, obviously, having a fast quarterback helps, like right here where it's like, oh wow, I did not think I was going to score there. But you see, we're able to just walk in untouched, cut back. The cutback lane can be open at times, and so you want to hit it right here. They're kind of taking away both a little bit. Now that safety walks back, I think you would probably just want to snap it when he was over there, but you're still able to see how it's going to be tough for them to stop inside zone anyway. If you can win those, blocks at the initial level, you're going to be able to, walk in. But right here, take it with the quarterback. You see the lane. If I lose, okay, thank goodness. If I lost that, I was about to go insane. But you're able to see how it's like one or the other. It's going to be very tough for them to stop. You're just reading the look. Right here, they have 5 guys on the right side of the offensive line. So we're just taking it with our running back, and we're going to walk in. I think I've scored like every time except for once or twice with these 2 plays. So you're able to see how effective they are in the red zone. And it's why you need to make sure you're using both of these plays in tandem, depending on the look that they give you. Alright, so if you found that complete guide to the Buccaneers Offensive ebook helpful here in Madden 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down Madden 26 tips and tricks, give you guys free ebooks every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want that full Buccaneers offense, because that was only a piece of the puzzle, make sure you go down below to the pinned comment, grab today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. It's 39 pages, very extensive with videos, screenshots, write-ups, everything you're going to need to dominate on offense from this Buccaneers playbook, so I really encourage you to check it out. But if you want to see my Vikings defense, check out this video right here. I'll see you over there. Peace.